Welcome back to Little Side Note with Win and
Naya.
so in this week's episode we're gonna talk about fears. Generalization on fears, what fears us literally and well I guess mentally.
Yeah.
So yeah, talking about phobias. What are you scared of?
I question if I'm afraid of heights. Like, I don't hyperventilate when I'm up in the sky or on roller coasters, but it's just like you get this feeling. It's like, oh my god, when you look down, you're like, ooh, and then it drops your stomach a little bit. But like, I'm not too scared to the point where I won't go on roller coasters or like I can't take flights. Just
I think being scared of flights is one of human natural instinct. I read somewhere that there are two fears that are is what we are really afraid of, and everything else is learned. I forgot which two, but yeah.
So you don't really have any fears, right?
No, I do have fears. What? I have claustrophobia, which is the what I'm scared of staying in tight places, or
Yeah.
it's more like I'm afraid that I'll be trapped and I can't escape. Yeah.
Interesting.
I wouldn't a lot of people have the fear of spiders.
Oh, I can't really say whole on fear, but I do like, it's when I don't want to touch them. Like, if I see a cockroach passing by, I will not go out of my way to kill it. As long as it doesn't bother me and it goes outside, then I'm fine with it. I'll just try to push it to go outside. I'm scarred by this one video I saw on Facebook where when you kill a spider and then it's pregnant and then it comes out baby spiders. I'm like, yeah, probably not killing it might be better. So like shoving it out of my way might be better.
I'm not necessarily scared of spiders, because I know spiders in Campbell are not really poisonous.
Yeah.
But when moving to Australia,
yeah, you guys gotta be careful.
I went camping.
Yeah.
I went camping and we saw a spider, and it's more like I don't know how to identify spiders here because I didn't live here when I was younger, because that was taught here in Australia.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, nope, I'm gonna get out of here. Like, spiders here scary as hell. So yeah, I think that's kind of a fear you learn, right?
Yeah, I guess. It's like, if you didn't know they were poisonous, I bet you were like, it's fine.
Yeah.
But because you do know, it's like, that's why sometimes they say ignorance is bliss.
Definitely.
Yeah. So in a sense, yeah, but I'm just scared that when I kill a spider, more spiders come out. That is my only fear, which is why I usually call my brother to help kill a spider. But when he wasn't around, when I was living alone, I had to kill them. And I was praying to God, please, 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 not this one, please, I will die here, no. So yeah. Other than that, I kill ants just fine. I think it's just because we grew up in Campbell. Killing ants is just second nature.
Yeah. Are you scared of lizards?
No, I'm not scared of lizards. I know one of our classmates is scared of lizards, but I'm quite fine with them.
I think we kind of grew up in Campbell where everything is just we see a lot of insects, so we're not really scared of it.
Yeah, I guess. You see, what are those things? Jelaine, I don't know what it's called in English. I forgot what it's called. No. The ones with the poisonous one with the legs.
Centipede?
I think so, yeah, centipede.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all over here. I remember when I was younger, I was at home and then it came out of the ground. And then I stepped on it and then my mom's like, thank God, because it's actually poisonous. And I'm like, really? Huh. Didn't know that. I was too young to know. But apparently,
Yeah, I remember
Mhm.
it came out of my sewer inside the bathroom as well, and then I just used the spray. I'm like, fuck off.
Oh yeah, that's what I used to do. If I didn't want to crush a spider, I spray it to death.
Oh my god, we're cruel people.
Dude, I really question it. Our school system teaches Buddhism, like all through our
Yeah.
12 years in our literature, but we don't abide by it like at all.
What is religion anyway?
I don't even
Okay.
know, dude.
So, there, you don't have any more phobias, right?
I don't think I have phobias. I'm kind of
Mm.
lucky in that sense. I only have nightmares. Where, oh, if I watch, like, even if I just listen to too much serial killers and all that stuff, which I'm interested in, I have nightmares, somewhat of a, like, an apocalypse in a way. But I don't know if it's, like, diagnosable or if it's just, like, normal. Because, of course,
Yeah.
you have reaction to what you take into your brain.
Like, I've seen people who are kind of like, oh my god, I dreamt about this, I was so scared, blah, 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 blah. But usually when I have nightmares, I see them, but I'm not scared. You know, like, maybe in my dream I'm like running away from it, but when I wake up, I'm not like this, you know, people in movies there where they wake up and they're sweating and they're panting, like,
Yeah. I've never
like,
had
it
that
never
experience.
happens to me.
Yeah, me neither. I remember this recent nightmare. Like, or the one where I was getting married to someone I really did not like. And then I remember in a dream, I remember the emotion so clearly that I'm so scared right now. I cannot believe this is happening. This is so fucked up. And I knew that this cannot be real. And then I woke up. And then, like, my heart is racing, but I'm just, like, lying still in my bed. Just, like, my heart is racing, that's it. But it's not like a jumping on the bed reaction, like panting, sweating. Like, no, it's just my heart is racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, since we don't have any more like kind of like physical phobias, let's dive in deeper. What are you really afraid of?
So I had this really this bad preconception when I was a kid, like, oh, by the time I'm 18 I'll have it all figured out, I'll know what I want to do with my life, I know this and that. But it used to be a fear that I didn't know what I should be doing, but I realized that this is just how it is. I'm trying to cope with it, I'm trying to learn what I like, and hopefully not make a bad decision about what I want to do with the rest of my life. So I guess a lot of people always have this misconception that after you're done with college, you should be in your job, you're in a 9 to 5, you're making money, you're doing this, you're doing that. But in reality, it's not like that. I know a lot of people who delayed their college just because they're not sure of what they want to do just yet. And they don't want to dive in head first, not knowing for sure what they want. Which, to me, in a sense, it does make sense. Before, I did think that, oh, it's a waste of time. But then again, it is another approach to really considering your options. And another thing is, it's none of your business. Their life, it's their life. You shouldn't judge. So, what, like, did you have the same preconception that, oh, by the time you finish school you would have it all figured out, or nah?
Something I learned about myself recently, a bit fucked up, is the reason why I have no direction in my life is because when I was younger I didn't think I would live until 18. I always thought like 18 was like so far away. Like I wouldn't reach that age. But now I'm like 21 and I still have no idea what I'm doing. But I think it's only normal with people our age who are questioning what we're supposed to do.
Mm. Is it weird that I find comfort that I'm not the only one that's questioning what I want to do with my life? Because like when it was our parents' generation, they had it all
Mm-hmm.
figured out by 22, 23. They're married, they're getting ready to have
Mm-hmm.
kids. And then us, it's different. Like I see like our friend group, and
Mm.
like most of us don't really know what we want to do. And
Mm-hmm.
then I see stuff on TikTok where most of the millennials who are in their 25, 26 also are struggling trying to
Mm-hmm.
figure out what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, it's kind of comforting.
I think it's more of like because when our parents was starting business and stuff like that, the market was very small. You could just like kind of do anything. But now
Yeah,
there's
true.
just so many competition, and we're kind of like sick of that, like always trying to go against each other, I guess. Because
Like,
I definitely do not want to go against my friends as like competitors. I don't know if my friends feel that way, but
no, same,
yeah.
same. Like, especially if I'm their close friend, it's
Mhm.
best if I'm not a competitor. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want, if I am close with you, I've already put in so much effort to
Mm.
be with you guys, and of course it only lasts because you guys put in this the effort. I feel it there too.
Mhm.
So for it to all be taken away just because you're trying to make a living is a
Yeah.
little sad to me. Yeah.
Like I thought about it and I feel like I would have given up my business or whatever just to have that friendship back. Like
Mm.
my parents would be like, "What the fuck?" But uh, I don't know. It's just having relationships with other people is more valuable than having money.
Yeah, yeah. Mm. Like yeah, it's like a value sense. To
Mm.
me, I wouldn't say I would give up the business. I would probably divide sectors where this way we could peacefully still be
Mm.
friends in
Mm.
somewhat, because I don't want to give up my effort. You don't want to give up your
Yeah,
effort.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Realistically, if I ask you to give up your effort, wouldn't you somewhat resent me in the end?
True.
Yeah. So if we have clear boundaries, it could work.
Hmm.
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe. But then again, if you're really friends, you wouldn't let the other person kind of like go easy on you either.
But looking, okay, so a little side note. Like,
Hmm.
would you recommend everyone to like have it all planned out, or would you rather recommend people to wing it more in like
I'm
sense of
I'm
life?
like a wing it type of person, but I would definitely. It depends on people, honestly. Like some people really know what they want to do when they were younger,
Yeah.
so I guess plan for that. But if you're unsure, like the most of us,
Mm.
um, wing it.
For me, I'm like half on half.
Mm.
Um, wing it a bit, but also have a backup plan in case the winging doesn't work, so
Hmm.
that you don't crash and burn, in a sense. Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
it's like
like
you applying for your safety school. You don't know if you
yeah,
might need it. So,
yeah.
mm-hmm.
Like for me, I've never had like a solid plan. All I know, all that was planted in my head is become rich, you will be happy. And that idea was like planted in my head since I was younger. So my only goal, honestly, is become rich and hopefully be happy.
I, okay, in a sense, I have seen my parents move out of poverty to the middle class, and I
Mm-hmm.
cannot say that they're all that much happier.
Hmm.
So, in a sense, I'm like, get comfortable enough. You don't need to get filthy rich. Just be comfortable enough that you can afford what you need, not what all the luxuries offer, and and then make sure you keep quality people around you. Because if you are making money and you don't have people to spend it with, to share it with, to go have fun with, what is the point? Like, it's something that I've observed. When I went to the US, eating alone at a restaurant is the norm. But when you're in Cambo, when you eat alone, it's just sad. And I guess it's because our society is programmed that you need friends. You cannot be too much of a black sheep and be alone all the time, because we're just social animals. We cannot survive on our own forever.
Yeah.
In a sense, it does make sense. Like, I do want my quality time of being alone, but at some point I'm bored and I miss my friends too, and I want to go hang out, to go see people, see new places, eat new food.
Yeah.
So it's like, make sure you pace yourself to an extent.
I think we kind of checklist check, like, we have good friends.
At least
yeah.
Maybe we're full of ourselves, but I feel like we have good friends. Maybe we are full of ourselves, but whatever. Like, yeah. I mean, it's also because what we define a good friend is. We have people we can depend on if we need it, and we have people who know what we want to hear, or what they should say or what they shouldn't say at that moment. Actually, this is a little side note. I did realize something a couple weeks ago, that I don't have too many new friends, and every friend that I have currently is either 2 years or more, like who are my best friends. They're either 2 years or 3 years or more. It's only because for you guys have been friends with me for over 5 years, 7 years. And you know how I react to most stuff. You know when you should say something, or how you should phrase it in a way that I should hear it. And you know when you should not tell some information to me, like, oh, this will upset me and it's unnecessary. You guys know this. And with my friends who are like, 3-4 years, they also somewhat adapted it, because most of them are Asian too, and they have similar culture. They know how I react and all that stuff. They know what I mind, what is my line. They will not test me. But I realize some people that I meet and I never end up becoming really close friends with, is because I have my own line. I have my own tolerance. Like, if I'm trying to be nice, but if you still can't figure out what you should and should not say to me, or what you think is best for me to hear, or like, it's something that's unnecessary for me to hear, then it just proves that you don't know me. Like, you might know my interests, but if you don't know how to interact with me or communicate with me, which in a sense is communication, then what's the point of holding this friendship and trying to understand you when you don't understand me?
Yeah.
So I guess that's the sense.
Yeah. Go listen to our previous episode where we talked about this as well. But yeah, it's the same thing for me, where, like, it's so difficult for me to say no. So usually the friends that I'm not friends with anymore, I wouldn't say that they were like bad people. It's just they're people who dislike other people saying no. Like, it's more like if you're like in a friend group, you're expected to do whatever it is without saying no. If you don't do that, then it means that you're not friends enough, or like you don't love each other enough. But I don't think it's true, though, because I feel like if you are actually friends, you should call out on their bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, you as a friend, like, if you love your friend, you want to see your friend grow into a better person. So I guess calling on their bullshit is a great way to kind of like
No, but
let
I
them
know some
blossom.
people, when they're not close enough, they cannot call out on each other's bullshit without
Yeah.
unintentionally offending them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
knowing when to call out on your bullshit, like what you should, yeah, when that person is bullshitting in the group chat, okay, let them bullshit. You're their friend. You have a role where you need to listen to them. But after they bullshit, they've calmed down a bit, privately chat to them and call out on their bullshit. Making it clear that you mean no offense and you're trying to like help them, not make them feel worse or anything like that.
But you kind of also need an understanding person of that. You know, like some people think you're just out there to get you. I don't know. Yeah.
I think
which brings me to, I guess, another fear. It's more like insecurity. But as you know, since I was in high school, like a lot of people assume that I didn't mind the insults, not like insults, but like jokes,
the
of
teasing.
insults. Yeah. But in reality, it's just because I couldn't say no, because they're gonna get mad and they're like, oh, just brush it off, it's just a joke. So
yeah, actually, that is very toxic. It's like, oh, just brush it off. Why are you being so much of a like crybaby and all that stuff? That is really toxic.
So like I've always been insecure, but because of that, I couldn't like kind of like voice out whatever I was kind of trying to say. So it wasn't healthy for me because I was expected to just like shove it down and be like, it's okay. Like, Win is never offended her whole life, so it's okay to say these kind of things. And I'm like,
your reaction is always a smile, dude. Since I've known you, your reaction is always smiling. Even if you're mad, you're just smiling.
I don't know why. Like, defense mechanism. Maybe it's because I want to avoid conflicts. I'm not good with conflict.
I mean, that's fair. I wish my head is more leveled when I'm in conflict because I want to deliver those crazy badass replies that I think of years later. But when you're mad, you're too emotional, you can't get it through.
Yeah.
Which is really annoying.
Yeah, or like you said, like imagine me delivering my lines while smiling. Hey, you asshole.
Yeah, true. So yeah, I guess you can't really do much about it.
Yeah,
it's hard. I think, but still, again, reflection and like it helps a lot. I never thought of reflection as a thing until like, I don't know, I think I had to blame COVID for it. I had too much time in my own head. I wasn't rushing anymore, and I realized, damn, I'm quite happy with my life. I'm rushing to everything, but I got good people and I'm doing work at the same time. I'm like, I'm patting myself on the back.
Were you rushing it because you don't want to think, or it's just like it just happened?
So I think it was out of habit where, in high school we went literally 7:30 till 3 p.m. 3:30. Then I had tutoring all the way till 7 p.m. And then on weekends I had like a full day on tutoring until 5. So it was like that grinding that never stopped. And then when I came to uni, I didn't have a summer break like you guys because you guys started in February. Like right after the national exam, the next day I was on a flight to my college already, and I started school immediately. So I never had that time, that breather. So I took on a lot of, like, I took on the average amount of classes my first semester because that was what was left and that was what was recommended. And then I realized, like, oh my god, the pace that I'm going compared to the pace that I was just a few months ago was way too different. And I wanted more. I could handle more. Why wouldn't I just go for more? And plus, I met a few friends who were planning out. We were literally planning out our entire 4 years of courses within the first semester of meeting each other. Yeah. So that's why I was able to graduate early. I already knew which classes to take, which class would cross off the most that I needed of my core requirements. So it was like a meticulous plan and my plan was initially to take, okay, so my average is 15 credits. So when you go on for 15 for a good 4 years, that'll make up 220, which is what is required to graduate. And what I did was, I was like, okay, maybe I'll take a few extra credits every semester so that it'll accumulate so that in my last semester I can just take 1 or 2 classes, the bare minimum to keep my visa, and then I'm chilling and have fun. Yeah, that was my first plan. So I took, I think, 18, which was the limit. And then I don't think I did anything for my first summer. I didn't take anything for my first summer. And I felt so empty and bored that I went back to the US early and then just like chilled with a few friends. And then when school started, I registered for 19. And then I'm like, okay. And then I found out about this summer program that ticked off the classes that I didn't want to take, which if I go for the summer program, it's only 3 weeks. I only do one huge presentation and it's just me playing around and writing journals. Who wouldn't want that? It was easy. So I was like, okay, I'll just go for that. So that was like, that was my plan for the summer. But in the next semester, my spring semester was the one that hit the hardest. Because I was taking 20 credits. I was rushing so that, yeah, I had to request over credit that semester.
Okay.
Because I was like, like my GPA was enough that I could request it, so I did it. And then I was like, what's the amount of classes was the same as me taking 18, 19 anyway. Let's just fuck it, let's just do it. And oh my god, that semester my grade tanked so bad and I got sick, but at the same time I was pushing myself to go out more too. So there was this one week where I went on like 3 trips and I had a midterm the next day, and the other within the same semester I went on that Khmer New Year party with the Thai and the Myanmar people too. And I went there and I had I went on a Friday night and I had a final on the Monday. So you could imagine how stupid I was.
Yeah.
But then by the time I got to my 3rd year, I realized, oh, I took so many extra that if I take another extra this 2 semester, I chopped off an entire year. At first I thought it wouldn't happen just because I thought my grade dropped so bad that I couldn't do it. But then miraculously the dean approved. So I'm like, okay, let's go for it. My most extreme semester was when I took 21 credits in my last final semester.
What the heck?
And thank God COVID hit because I only had to suffer for 2 months. Because that time I was balancing 21 credits. I was balancing 2 jobs. I was a grader, and a math tutor grader, and working at a reception. And I went for an internship at the same time.
Oh God.
So you could tell that I was dying. Yeah. I arrived home I arrived home at 10 p.m. every Wednesday. Other days I would arrive home around 7 p.m. And I was out since 6 a.m. every morning. So yeah, I was dead. But to me, I was like, my mom's getting old. Yeah. My mom is not feeling too great and so much money. Let's just come back. Then when I came back home, it was still running, and I realized, damn, I'm lucky that I didn't have to study during COVID, but I feel like I shouldn't have pushed it. So when I always wanted to somewhat pursue masters. It was just uncertain. So I took a leap of faith, and here I am. So I guess you could see that it was kind of planned, but not planned. My master's program was decided last minute. So you just sway. I just keep swaying, and then I plan. I sway, and then I plan. And then if the plan doesn't work, I'm not like totally pissed about it. I'm just like, okay, go continue. We change plan.
You've done more. You've done so much more than I have.
I've only done so much more only because I was unlucky with my school where, you know, our school didn't have advanced programs. Technically, what we were studying is counted as advanced program, but it didn't transfer to U.S. schools. So technically, I was going through all of it already, but I'm just redoing it. And then because I already got the concept beforehand, I didn't have to adjust to it so much. And then the other thing was like, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, because I didn't have those transferred credits, I cannot have priority. So how it works in my school is, if you have more credits in your account, it's like, oh, the more money you have, the more priority you get. So it's that in a sense with classes. Okay. So the more classes you have, the earlier you could register, the higher chances you could get the easier professors instead of the hard ones.
I see.
But because I didn't have those, I had to suffer my first 1 year and a half where I suffered like going to do this and going to do that. But because I took those extra credits, my next year and a half, I got the better professors. I got the stricter ones, or like the ones that really push you to understand something, which led to a lot of people in the room saying, yeah, I've done internships in the Big Four. Yeah, I've done internship in this and that and this and that. And you feel inferior. They openly ask you these things on the first day of class because the class is so small. So you have a chance to say what you've done, what you haven't done. So, and I was among the other 2 students that did not have an internship at all. And the professor literally rubbed it in our faces like, you need to start. Whereas everyone else already had an internship. So it was like, it was a different type of thing. Like, it's not that I didn't apply. It's just every time that I did, the first thing they asked is, do you have a green card? And everyone studies business. So what's the point, you know? It just demotivated me to apply.
Yeah, it's the same here in Australia, where you need to get a PR in order to get internships. So it's very difficult. But back to what you were saying, like you said that you kind of like redid everything again. For me, because I took on programming and I had no like kind of like prior like knowledge about it. I mean, we had a little bit, but it's like so basic, and I never researched it. So to me, it feels like I'm learning a new thing constantly.
It's okay. I will feel your pain in the next 2 months.
We're in different fields.
I will come and bother you a lot.
We're in different fields.
But I'm still going to go through your basics where you have to learn a little bit of Python, a little bit of here and there.
Yeah.
But I think I only need to go through Python, SQL, and R. That's the only 3 languages I need to go through.
SQL is pretty easy because it's not really a programming language. I enjoyed my SQL classes.
Okay, good to know. I feel better now because I am still struggling to remember some of the concepts in Python. Like, it's way too much for me to remember right now. I wish there was like a cheat sheet like the math cheat sheet that we used to have. But because it's so circumstantial, you can't you can't set up a good cheat sheet for it. So complex. But yeah. Okay, I think we should wrap it up. I think we're over time.
Definitely.
So thanks for listening to our episode today, guys. If you enjoyed it, please give us a follow, like, and share. Our Instagram is little side note. Our Facebook and YouTube is Little Side Note the Podcast. And we also have a Spotify, which is also Little Side Note the Podcast. Feel free to reach out to us in our Gmail, which is littlesidenote@gmail.com.
Mhm.
And I guess we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Bye.